The folklore of Africa's Tuareg people is dominated by the dramas of their encounters with the desert, which they've called home for centuries, and the relationships through which they survive the demands of their chosen lifestyle. Their relationship with their camels is the most important one. So, how do these beloved animals show up in Tuareg folklore and folk music? Hello, friends, and welcome to the Mythological Africans podcast, where we read and talk about stories from African mythology and folklore. I am your host, Helen Tunde. In the beginning, goes an ancient Tuareg proverb, was the camel Fakaru, whose milk nourished the entire world. Into the vessel of this short proverb is poured the entirety of the Tuareg people's attitude towards their camels. To the Tuareg of the past, and even nowadays, camels, with their ability to steadily endure the rigorous demands of the desert, their loyalty and capacity to generate immediate sustenance and long term wealth for their owners, and their tall, sturdy, and yet graceful appearance embody all that is admirable. Evolving from the Americas, where they left behind llamas and alpacas, their humblest relatives, camels almost certainly entered the African continent from Asia through Somalia in the east, before spreading as far west as the Atlantic Ocean and south as Tanzania. Since their arrival and domestication, camels have become integral to the lives of people in the northern and western parts of the continent, especially the Tuareg. The Tuareg are also known as the Kel Tamajak, that is, people who speak Tamajak, and the Kel Tagelmost, that is, people of the Veil. They claim nationality mainly from Libya, Algeria, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. But one could say they are citizens of the Sahara Desert, for they have claimed the desert as wholeheartedly as it has claimed them. The Tuareg lifestyle is a vivid demonstration of how humans, with a clear understanding of their environment, can survive even the harshest of conditions. Traditionally, the Tuareg build no permanent settlements. They travel with their camels across the Sahara, using water from ancient wells, and stopping just long enough to rest and graze their camels and other livestock. By doing this, they preserve the fragile ecological balance of their unforgiving desert home, taking just as much as they need and moving on quickly to give the land a chance to recover. The image of vivid blue-robed and veiled Tuareg men sitting on white camels with the stark desert landscape as a backdrop is one of the many striking African images. Equally striking is the way camels amble through Tuareg folklore in poems chanted, usually to the accompaniment of the tende drum or the imzad, the one-stringed violin. Traditionally, for a Tuareg man to own as many camels as possible is the ultimate goal, and almost a requirement to marry, since a woman's bride wealth is paid in camels. So, in one song, an older woman warns young girls to be wary of suitors. Young women, she sings, you must choose from among the men of the evening. The false men, they are going to say that they have camels, but by morning, it is a lie. In another song, a woman bemoans the fate of men who have no camels. The cameliers, you must call them, she sings. There are no more camels. Poor youth who does not have a camel, or his father does not have one, or he does not have money. If he steals, one arrests him. This desirability means that all that is admirable can be metaphorized using a camel. Girls, today I am ill, sings a young Tuareg man. My illness is not the fever, nor even a pain in the stomach or a chill. These days I do not hear my name. Even though a great blow of the sword could not penetrate my shield, this eats into my legs up to the calves. When it occurs, women are indifferent to me, and I am no longer a cause for jealousy among my aged brothers. Unloved, my camel spirit, that is my Paris, will be broken. In yet another song, a noble woman plays the tender drum and indirectly praises her lover, a man of lesser social rank, by singing about his camel. Tuareg camels may be of African or Arabian origin. They can be the one-humped dromedary camel or the two-humped Bactrian. They can be tall and gracefully light-limbed for riding, or squat and stubby-boned for load carrying. They can be piebald or fawn-colored, dark or white, and if white, very much prized indeed. After all, white was the color of the camel ridden by Tin Hinan, the legendary queen and founder of the Tuareg people. You should definitely check the episode notes for a list of common yet poetic Tuareg camel names. Can you guess what the name Korurimi means? So, affectionately named camels are used to describe what the people admire and value the most and are immortalized in song. With names like Bangi or One Eye and Kelbadu or Big Belly, one can only imagine the fun Tuareg poets and folk singers have with camel metaphors. But it is in the Ilugan, the famous camel dances of the Tuareg, that camels experience their fullest exaltation in Tuareg folk music. These camel dances are also called camel fantasies for the fanfare and ceremony involved. Women play the tinder drum and sing songs about camels, praising their beauty and value. They also sing about the camels' owners, lauding their prowess and gallantry. The men, on their part, ride their camels around the women, performing stylized movements to the rhythms of the women's songs, whose beats and rhythms imitate the gait of the camels. This joyous and cooperative setting is perfect for flirting and matchmaking, which happens a lot. Oh my soul, oh this tende, sings Tuareg songstress Fadimutu Waled Inamut in Ahi Mana, a typical song performed during the camel dance. Oh my soul, I have never seen an animal that kills me like a camel with his saddle and dress. Oh, my boyfriend with whom I share memories. I think about you even if I am praying. Oh, my soul, even if I am sick, I don't miss your appointments. Oh, this is where the misfortune and suffering gather to make my heart suffer. Oh, my soul, however, I remember the time we were spending time in the dark night until morning. Oh, the camel that carries the business. When I see it, my heart relaxes. You can watch a video recording of a camel dance from a link in the episode notes. As far back as the 15th century, Tuareg men mounted on combat-ready camels controlled most of the highly lucrative caravan trade across the Sahara. They were also fearsome warriors whose camel assisted raids are still the stuff of legends. He spurs on his riding camel, brags a Tuareg warrior in a poem. She does not shy, she is trained. He presses his shield. He has a fine spear. His sword is girded on his right. The blade is not for show, but for when the day shall come. The burthened camels shall be hobbled in the rear. They shall be sought in vain. The men will run to the fight. That day, he who is unafraid will cower in the saddle. Given the long camelback journeys required for trade, raiding, and the nomadic nature of Tuareg life in general, caravan songs, chants sung to pierce through and drain the weight of the desert's unyielding silence, are a staple of Tuareg folk music. Caravan singing and chanting are supplemented with the usual instruments, but also with the camel bell. Times are changing, however. The Tuareg lifestyle is weighed under the pressure of challenges like cycles of drought and pervasive poverty and conflict in the countries they live or travel through. As a result, more and more Tuareg people are abandoning the nomadic lifestyle to live and work in towns and cities. Others leverage their knowledge of the region to smuggle goods and people across the desert. There is an increase in tourism, however, which is a bright spot, cultural commodification aside. Tourism, and especially musical and cultural festivals, have become big industries which capitalize on, expand, but also preserve important aspects of Tuareg culture and identity. The Festival Desert is a modern Tuareg musical and cultural festival patterned after the camel dances. The festival started in 2001 and now holds annually in Essakan, a town near the legendary city of Timbuktu. These festivals feature a new genre of Tuareg folk music, the desert blues. This brand of music is a recent evolution of traditional Tuareg folk music, and it brings together the tende drum, the blues guitar introduced to Tuareg society by French colonialists, and the soothing call and response pattern of singing. You might already know the desert blues from Tinarwen, arguably the most famous Tuareg folk singers in the world.
Thank you so much. You're welcome to the desert.
As for the camels, they face stiff competition from lorries and other motorized forms of transportation. But like horses and other domestic animals, whose role in human history have changed drastically over time, they remain close companions of the people and continue to inspire love and admiration in poetry and song. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.